how's it going, guys? Welcome back to Cooking with Rita and Ayden. Today we are starting off our cozy Thanksgiving table feast. I'm gonna go through all the steps and everything you're gonna need to complete your Thanksgiving dinner. So starting off, of course, we're starting with the turkey, the star of the dish, and we're gonna walk you through how to do this step by step from start to finish so you could be well prepped and ready for your guests. So we went ahead and we already washed this. We removed the neck and all the other pieces that were inside of here. We also went ahead and cut off all the trimmings. So this is ready to go. All we have to do is pat it down and start putting our ingredients together, or our seasoning, I should say, right?
Yep.
All right, so let's do it. And then we're gonna need some seasoning. This is basic seasoning that we're using, and in addition to that, we have all of our herbs. It consists of celery, carrots, onions, some lemon, parsley, sage, thyme, and rosemary. Now that I have my gloves on, we're gonna go ahead and get some seasoning on this little plate. We wanna keep our dry seasoning separate. This way, once we start touching, we are not contaminating our seasoning. So we're gonna do 1 teaspoon of each, or tablespoon. Those are tablespoon because this is a 13-pound turkey, so we need enough seasoning. Salt, pepper, and granulated garlic. And some crushed pepper, which is optional. The pepper is optional. Mix everything up. No. The pepper is completely optional, okay, guys? We just like things with a little kick around here, so. Okay, we're gonna use 1 stick of butter, which is gonna be half of this. Here you go. And the butter is at room temperature, so it's nice and soft and it's spreadable. Okay, now that we have all of our seasoning, everything's ready to go, we're gonna start getting our turkey ready. So we're just gonna go ahead and tap it. Make sure we get all the water off. We just wanna make sure it's completely dry. Let's go ahead and flip it.
Some more underneath.
Let me get water from underneath out. There we go. Get some more tissue. And you just want to tap everything. Okay, now we start generously putting some seasoning on the inside. Just sprinkle everywhere, Ayden. Sprinkle so it's like falling on the, there we go. And not just on the center. 1 second, let me go this way. I'm gonna get my hand in there and kind of like tap around just to get the seasoning everywhere. And next, we're gonna add in some things in here. So we're gonna go ahead. Oh, I need an apple. Yep, thyme, rosemary, and a couple of sage. And then we're gonna go ahead and put this directly inside of our turkey. Just like so. Don't need to cut it up. We're also gonna need some lemon, which I went ahead and sliced. So we're gonna also tuck this in here. And then we need some apple. Okay, now that I have our apples, I'm gonna go ahead and tuck a few pieces inside of here. This is gonna bring out some nice flavors. Let's get some in the back. You just wanna, get in there and tuck everything in. We're gonna also add in some parsley. And then that's it for tucking. Now we could go ahead and we're gonna tie this later, but first let's get the outside going, right? So we're gonna start off by getting our butter and our seasoning. Good mix. Let me get some, or sprinkle some. No, by hand, everywhere. Okay. All right, that's good. We're gonna put more after because we're gonna mix into the butter and get it underneath everywhere. Should we do some on the other side right now too? And then we'll do the other side, step out. All right, good, 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 good job. Okay, just wanna make sure you get that everywhere. Now the rest of that, or half of it at least, let's put it inside of the butter. Half of it goes on the butter. We're gonna go ahead and kind of like get your hand and go between the skin like so. We're gonna make room to put our butter seasoning in there along with some of our herbs. So you just wanna tuck. And this is why I'm wearing my gloves, just so we could get right in there. All right, now I will take some butter, just grab like a handful, and you go right in there and start putting it inside. This is gonna keep our turkey moist and also delicious. Everything's seasoned. I'm gonna go ahead and take one of some branches off our rosemary, and I'm gonna tuck our thyme and tuck it right in there as well. Right? And we could do the same with the rosemary. And it's important to maybe have all your stuff ready if you don't have someone helping you. This way it's gonna make life a lot easier, you know, when you're doing this. I think I'm gonna turn it around and try to get some on the others.
Tray.
Yeah, that makes sense. Turn the tray. Okay, we're gonna do the same on this part, on the breast area in the front. We're gonna try to get under the skin as well. So you just wanna pull the skin and like tuck your finger in there. And we're gonna get some butter in there. And same on the other side. All right, so what I'm doing is taking the rest of our seasoning and just breaking it into the butter along with our, so we have the sage, rosemary, and thyme in the butter. We're gonna just coat the outside. But first we have our celery, carrots, and onions that we're gonna just lay in the bottom of the pan. So Jay is just gonna slide that in. Hurry up, it's heavy. Okay, and then we sit that right on top. We could also go ahead and put all of these seasoning in here because we already touched them, and it's just gonna bring more flavor. Put it in the bottom. It's just gonna bring more flavor into all of this. So the end goal with having all of this beautiful flavors in here is to make our gravy. So that's just gonna give more flavors. Okay, so we have all of our stuff in the bottom. Now I have this beautiful butter seasoning here that I'm just gonna take everything and layer it on the top. And it's like not wanting to stick, but that's okay. It's gonna
Just leave chunks on it.
Yeah, it's gonna melt in, and just make sure you get in between your wings. Okay, and then we want to tuck while Ayden's getting some twine to tie the legs. You want to go ahead and take the wings and like tuck it underneath, just like so. We're also gonna go ahead and tuck the neck and the other internals here as well. This is all gonna help to bring out the flavors for our gravy. So you just tuck it wherever. Jay, you gonna help me with that?
Yes.
Okay, buddy, let's go. So you're just gonna wrap it around like 2 times. Got it? Double knot.
Double knot.
Okay, that should hold. Okay, we have half a bottle of Pinot. Whatever wine you have on hand, you could use. I just chose to use this one because I have an open bottle. And then you want to pour it on the sides, not on top. If you pour it on top, obviously you're going to wash everything off. So gently pour this on the sides. And I'm just going to pour everything.
If you don't want to use that, you could use broth.
Yep, and you could use some vegetable broth, chicken broth, turkey broth, whatever you have on hand. But that's it for the seasoning for now. We're gonna go ahead and cover this up. And we're gonna place this in the fridge for a good 3-4 hours, let it season. You could even do it the night before if you'd like. Another thing you could do is brine the turkey before you get to this step, which we have a video for that I will attach for you guys if you choose to do that.
All right, so our turkey has been sitting for 6 hours now. The oven is preheated to 325, and now it's time to put this whole turkey in the oven.
In the oven. Awesome. But before we do that, we're gonna add some broth on the bottom, and then we put it in. And then this is gonna cook for about 3.5 hours. A little bit more. Okay, on the sides, again, pour on the sides so we don't wash our seasoning off. And remember, we also have the white wine in the bottom from earlier. And all of this goodness from the seasoning and all of that's gonna make the perfect gravy after. So that's it. We cover back up and in the oven. And then we want to keep an eye on it, of course. We're going to open it every probably hour or so and rebase it on the top. You could use like a suction or a regular spoon and just dip the broth, pour it on the top, put it back in. And then the last hour, we're going to uncover it. That's the plan for now. All right, our turkey's been in the oven for a good 1.5 hours or so. We're gonna bring it out and take a look. Gently, it is heavy. Got it? Ooh, strong. We are looking good, but we still have a lot to go. So let's go ahead and get some of our gravy on it, just to base it a little. We want to keep doing this every hour from now. I think being that we are halfway there, we're going to do it more frequently. This is the first one, right?
Yep.
Okay, let's get that leg and we're going to cover it and it goes right back in. Let's get some on the wing. That is looking beautiful. Let's take it out, Jay. Watch your legs. Ooh. Watch your legs. Oh. Wow. So nice. Smells so good. All right, now that we have our turkey resting, we could move on to making our gravy. And I'm gonna go ahead and strain out the liquid out of the pan that will be used for the gravy. We don't necessarily need all of this liquid, but I'm gonna strain it all out. That over there. All right, so for this part, what we're gonna need is some butter in our pan. So just a little bit for now, just so we could make a roux. and get our flour parched, which is gonna be the thickener for the liquid. All right, now that our butter is melted, we have oh, Ayden really packed this in here. We need about 2 tablespoons of flour that we're just gonna get it toasted here a little bit. When we pour gravy, it doesn't taste like raw flour, pretty much. Okay, I think that's good for now. And then we could go ahead and add some fresh herbs to this. So you could chop it up really, really tiny and add some more fresh herbs. So Jay, you're up. It's right there. So just a couple grain or a couple leaves of thyme, rosemary, and the sage. Just really tiny. And of course, taste it to make sure you have enough salt. See if you want some more pepper in there. I feel like personally, I want to add in a little bit of pepper flakes. This is totally optional. It's not needed. This is a really good consistency we have going here. And we're good. We're just gonna turn this off. Oh, I already did, so. Now that that's finished, we're gonna go ahead and pour it into our bowl. I don't have a gravy bowl that perfectly pours it, so this is gonna do perfectly fine. And we have just a perfect amount. Yep, we're just gonna drizzle a little bit of these herbs. It's gonna bring all those flavors out. And that's it for our gravy. Okay, so Jay is gonna do the honor of cutting the turkey for the first time ever. And I have his head cut off. For someone that's never cut a turkey before, Jay, where do we start?
First, we're cutting this string off for the legs.
Correct. Good point. So start on this side. All right, so this was the first time Jay was actually carving a turkey. My husband normally does it, but today we're all doing it together. So just as he demonstrates, we start with the leg and separate the pieces. Then we're gonna move on to the wings and then to the breast, which is the main part that we need to get right. So just as he's doing in the video, you wanna go straight down, and then on the breast area, you just kind of want to feel where the bone is in the middle, and then slice, alongside that. And then you just cut it after that as you please. I think what he did was amazing, and he did a great job. So good demonstration, Jay. Like butter. Dude, that was very loud. Sorry, guys. Awesome, awesome. Okay, we have our gravy that was made from the drippings and all of that yumminess. Awesome. That looks so good. Perfect. Good job, Ayden. And now we're down to the very best part where we get to try the food. You ready?
Yep.
All right, let's do it.
To take this one.
Ooh, it's just falling apart.
Yeah.
I need some gravy on there. I didn't get there fast enough.
It's yummy.
Yum. Awesome, awesome. We're gonna get started by peeling our potatoes, chopping them up into cube size, boiling until they're fork tender, and then of course drain it and set it aside. To go with this creamy mashed potato, we have half a cup of heavy cream, 3/4 stick of butter, some salt and pepper that we're gonna let it reduce for a bit.
At this point, the potatoes are soft and mushy. I'm going to take our press, fill it up, and we're going to smash all of these potatoes with this handy dandy potato smasher.
I am glad you are doing that part and not me. You definitely need some muscles, is all I could say. So we're gonna go ahead and finish smashing all of the potato. We do have our heavy cream and butter that's already ready to go and sitting here. We just figured out our microphone was not on at the beginning of this video. So we will be sure to talk you guys through it, which is basically peeling your potato, boiling it, and until it's fork tender, and then we get to this part of smashing it.
Now we have our potatoes all pressed out. It's time to put this butter cream mixture we have here and pour half of it in first, and then we mix, and then we add the next half. It already looks creamy.
Wow, that looks really good. Okay.
Now we could add the rest.
There you go.
Just make a pool in the middle. Drag all your seasonings in and fold in.
That smells so good. So simple, but so delicious, right?
Yeah. Now that everything's mixed in, you could transfer this into your preferred tray. We're using a small glass bowl. Just gently bring everything in.
That looks really good. Now all we're missing is some chive or some green onions, whatever you have on hand. We went ahead and sprinkled some chives. It looks perfect. It smells delicious. And now it's time to move on. Moving on to our green beans casserole. We have a few things. We have some mushrooms, portobello mushrooms, baby portobello mushrooms that we already chopped up. Now all we're gonna do is cut off the ends of our green beans. So you wanna do that, or we could both do it together so we finish fast.
Yeah.
And yep, having a helper goes a long way. So what I like to do is just like get a bundle, put it all, pack it down, and then you could get all the ends at once. And then you do the same thing on the other side. Kind of pack it down, and you get all of it at once. And then we just pile them up. Go ahead. So we're gonna go ahead and finish chopping all of this up, and then we could move to the stove. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and grab
A good amount.
Yep, and cut them in half. Straight across.
Straight down the middle.
Awesome. And then we
stop running.
continue to cut all of these.
All the green beans are finished cutting in half. Now we chop half an onion long ways.
Of an onion. Your cutting skills are getting so much better, Jay.
To get started with the green beans casserole, I'm going to get some oil in the pan and some garlic as well.
It's good. That's about a tablespoon. A tablespoon.
Yeah, about a tablespoon.
Okay, and your onions. Get the onions in.
Now we got our half onion.
All right, that is looking beautiful, Jay. Now it's time to go ahead and add in our green beans. And a sprinkle of salt and pepper, just so we could keep seasoning every level as we go. Awesome. Okay, that is looking beautiful. We don't want to cook it any more than that. That's about 2 minutes in there. So let's go ahead and pour it out. And we could move on to making our cream. Awesome. That looks good.
With our cream, start with some olive oil. And our big plate of mushrooms.
Yep.
Yeah, all of those right in.
And then again, we're going to season as we go. So a little bit of salt, just a tiny bit.
Salt.
And a tiny bit of pepper.
A little bit of black pepper.
Our mushroom is looking so good. Smells delicious. Now it's time to wrap this up. So let's go ahead. We're going to add in half a cup of whole milk. And half a cup of heavy cream. And then to kick things up a little and make it a little festive, we're going to add in a grate of nutmeg.
Don't want to chop my fingers.
That should be good. Could already smell it. Let me go ahead and mix everything. Last item is going to be a little bit of grated Parmesan cheese. Awesome. And then we're coming right over our beans. Just set it down, it's okay.
Evenly put it out.
Yeah, actually we want to tuck it in a little. Get a smaller spoon. Get a smaller spoon. That spoon is not working out. It's too big. Here, let me help you with that part. Get a spoon. So we want to like get it incorporated in between, kind of in between our beans a little. And then to finish this off, of course, we're gonna use some crispy fried onions. Let's see. Making sure that we have in every corner. Oh, the stove is hot. And then we're gonna put this in the oven at 350 degrees for about 10-15 minutes or so, and we should be good. All right, next on our list is our stuffing, and we have a few ingredients. We have a sourdough bread that we're going to use. You're gonna need some onions, celery, butter, chicken stock or vegetable stock. So let's get chopping. Ayden, what do you want to do first?
Celery.
Celeries, okay.
I'm doing this fine.
Yep, we're gonna chop it. Let me show you. First, we're gonna cut it in half. All right, and then we just, like so. There you go, buddy.
Okay.
And we'll do another side. Make sure they're cutting through, okay? Okay, that should be good. And next we're gonna need some parsley, which I have some chopped already, but it needs to be chopped a little finer. And you're gonna need some sage. So here you go, buddy. And we have some thyme. We're using a different type of thyme. This is a broadleaf thyme, we call it. But you hold everything really tight, watch your fingers, and you chop. Alright, next we're gonna need some onions. Don't cry, Ayden. I love you. Just leave it on the side. It's fine. There you go, buddy.
Onion.
This is a very large onion, so we're just using half of it. So playing with the food, Ayden. Okay, next we have our sourdough bread that we're gonna go ahead and chop it up into cubes. This is a very large bread, so we're gonna use only half of it. But depending on your guests, if you're cooking for the full 8 to 10 people or plus, you would probably want to use the whole thing.
Now that we have our bread torn up, time to add in our butter.
Scraping the butter.
Yes.
Okay, next we're gonna go ahead and add in our onions and celeries and saute that for a bit.
Put some salt in there.
And some black pepper.
Awesome.
Give this a mix.
That smells so good. I'm gonna let that saute for about 2-3 minutes. Now we're adding all of our herbs, our parsley, thyme, sage, into our bread and giving that a toss. Help. Okay, now that that's nicely tossed together, it's time to go ahead and add in all of our veggies that we had sauteing, our onions and celery. With our butter, goes right in. Awesome. Nice. We're gonna give this a nice little toss. Go ahead, I'm gonna hold your bowl for you. Vegetable stock, whichever you're using. I think we have chicken stock. Go ahead, Jay. Gradually, we're gonna do this. Gradually. Okay. Until it's nice and moist, but not like soggy. We don't want it to be soggy and mushy and falling apart. Oh, so good. Maybe a little bit more. Okay, that's enough. Awesome. That looks good. Okay, now it's time to get this into a pan. What you got there, Jay?
Bacon.
One last item for our stuffing. Yum. Awesome, that looks so good. Now it's time to go ahead and finish this up and get it in our pan. Okay, now that that's finished, it's time to go ahead and get it in the oven. We're gonna bake for 8 to 10 minutes. Today, it's all about sweet meets savory. So, what are we making, Aiden?
We're making some sweet potatoes and corn casserole along with a side of cranberry sauce.
Awesome. So let's get started. First thing, we're gonna get these sweet potato peeled and in the oven so they could get roasted, and then we can move on to the next step, right?
Yep.
All right, so let's get peeling. One of these work great for peeling. All you have to do is press on and pull. Simplest way. If you don't have one of these peelers, a potato peeler, then obviously resort to your knife, but these are handy and they work great. And after all of these are all peeled, we're gonna go ahead and clip the corners and then chop them up. But let's see, one thing I should say is that when you're picking your sweet potatoes, make sure that they are orange, so you're getting sweet potatoes and not yams. Yams are more white on the inside. There's also purple potatoes, right?
Yep.
Which is delicious, by the way. But for this occasion, you want sweet potatoes and they are orange. So, here, Aiden, I will continue to peel while you chop those up.
All right.
Yes.
First up is cut off the corners. And I'm going to cut this into 3 equal pieces. And we're going to cut these into 4 equal pieces so they could cook evenly.
Awesome. This is good. We have enough space to spread them out.
Now these are going to go in the oven at 375 for 30 to 35 minutes until they are
Fork tender.
fork tender.
So we could smash them. Sweet potato is ready, I believe. So let's take a look and see. These potatoes definitely took a little bit longer than our time that we were expecting. Ooh, nice. Those look good to me. A few things. First, a bowl to put all of these sweet potatoes in, a spatula to scoop everything up, and a smasher. We're not looking for super smooth consistency. It is a casserole, so we are gonna have a little bit of chunk in there. I mean, if you do want super smooth, then I would say you put it through a strainer, right? Is that what it's called, Jay?
Yeah.
Or a potato squeezer, masher. You guys get what I'm trying to say, right? Okay, we're gonna add in a pinch of salt, not too much, just some cinnamon. And because it's Thanksgiving, we're gonna do a little bit of pumpkin spice, just a little. And pumpkin spice is pretty much nutmeg, cinnamon, allspice, like all of those, ginger, all of that mixed in together as it is. And then we have half a cup of heavy cream. And then we mix everything together. Good folds. All mixed?
Yep.
Okay, so normally we would add some brown sugar in here as well, but we're gonna save the brown sugar for our topping. So let's set this aside, and I'm gonna grab some pecans. Handfuls of pecans. Not too much. That should be good. We're just gonna give this a rough chop. Now, if you'd like, you could toast this before you add it, or in our case, I'm gonna add this on the top as a topping. Instead of doing like marshmallows in this recipe, we're just gonna add the pecans on the top, and it will get plenty of toasting once it's in the oven. Very hot. Now it's time to pour all of this yumminess in our pan. And then just spread it out a little. I don't like to pack it in. Just like that nice rustic look. Okay, and now we're just gonna go ahead and take our chopped pecans and just gently distribute it throughout our casserole. And you could do as much as you want or as little as you want. This is quite a bit here, but it's already chopped, so it's all going in. And then we have some brown sugar. I'm just gonna grab a nice handful and then sprinkle on the top. That's gonna coat our, it's gonna melt into the sweet potatoes and our pecans and make it caramelize, and it's gonna be beautiful. So that is all she wrote, and this is going right in the oven. And we are at 350 right now, and our oven is hot, so I may turn it down a little. And our sweet potato casserole is completed. Oh, we're on? Stop drinking coffee, Ayden.
All right, guys, now it's time for the corn casserole. And we're gonna kick it up a little with 1 jalapeno.
Jalapenos. All right, so of course I'm gonna list all of these ingredients for you guys, but for corn casserole, you need the basic ingredients. You need your corn, some butter, some Jiffy that goes great for every recipe. And then you just level it up to whatever you wanna put in it. So that's what we're doing today. So we're gonna start by chopping. You chop.
Yes.
I'm gonna get some ingredients in here. I have creamy corn and whole corn. We have some butter. We have some sour cream, some honey, of course, a pinch of salt, and some eggs. So, time to get mixing.
All right, guys, so just take the seeds out of the jalapeno because we don't want it to get too spicy for us.
Okay, time to go in with our corn. Just so simple, so easy to make. And we have some creamy corn.
This is finished. We're gonna go dump this in here.
1 full jalapeno, and it smells really spicy.
You get 2 eggs.
All right, next we have about 1 cup of sour cream. We have half a stick of butter. Okay, we have our Jiffy ready to go, but first we're gonna give this a quick mix and get everything mixed in there. I'm gonna go ahead and add in a pinch of salt, and a pinch of black pepper. Okay, next we're gonna go ahead and add in our mixture of Jiffy.
And give this a quick mix.
A little bit of milk. And a 1/4 cup of milk. Mix, Shay, mix.
If I mix too quick, it's going to flow over and go kaboom.
And we need the main ingredients. We need our hot honey. All right, this recipe called for a 9x9 pan. I don't have one. We just toss ours out, but I have this one that's gonna do perfectly fine. So we're gonna go ahead and grease our pan. I'm just gonna squirt some olive oil on it and then kind of rub it in. And then we pour. Wait. Okay. Okay, so we have 2 different type of honey. We have our local honey. Then we have some Scotch bonnet and habanero hot honey, and I taste some and it's super, super spicy. So for those reasons, we're gonna mix it because we already have jalapenos in here. So first, I'm gonna pour some of this and then that on top, and then we will swirl it in. And I'm gonna pour because Jay have a heavy hand. So all right. Now it's time for some. Look, you could see. AJ?
Yeah.
Maybe I should go this way so we could cross. Get some in the corners. Okay, that's enough.
You put way too much just now. All right, now we can mix this in together.
It's gonna be so good. I cannot wait.
It's a cool pattern.
Get the corners so we're mixed in. No swirly. All right, this is looking so good, but it's time for it to go in the oven. That's gonna bake for about 20 minutes at 350 degrees. All right, this is looking so good. The consistency is just perfect. You see, Jay? Perfect, perfect. You gotta pick it up so we could see. Show us, Jay. Jiggly, nice and creamy. Okay, 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 we don't want it to dry. We have some nice crust going on in the corners. It smells so good, you guys. If only you could try it. Taste it, but you're gonna be making it, right? You're gonna make it for yourself, your family, and you're gonna let me know in the comments how yours came out and what you thought about this version of our corn casserole. That's it for this. We're moving on to cranberries. Okay, next we're moving on to our cranberry sauce. I have 2 packs in here that I washed and went through them, so we're good to go. Each pack is about 12 ounces. So this is gonna go directly in my pot of boiling water. We're gonna go ahead and add this directly in. Ooh. You hear them popping already? I could hear them popping already. Okay, come out a little. Okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and add in 2 sticks of cinnamon. I have 1.5 cup of sugar. I could hear it popping. And then we're going to peel off a few slices of the orange peel. Orange skin, I should say. Right? Orange skin. Ooh, can you hear it popping, Jay?
Yeah, I can.
That's cool. Okay, these are gonna go in here and then we're gonna take them out at the end. But we also need the juices from this orange, so we're gonna go ahead and squeeze that out real quick. All right, now we have our fresh squeezed oranges. Ooh, that was a pop. Going right in, and a tiny pinch of salt. And that's all it is to this cranberry. Now we just have to wait until they all pop and reduce down a little, and you should be good. So let's go ahead and add that pinch of salt, that fresh orange juice. You can see the orange color in here, but that's gonna go away after we're all done. That's gonna be gone. So the cranberries are smelling so good, and it's looking even so much better. I think we're all good. It's kind of rolling on the bottom of the pan. Go ahead and pull this out. It's nice, and like we have those nice pieces in there. So I think we're good. Okay. Got that bubble. Oh, don't burn me. Here is our cranberry. It's looking so good. We got the right amount of chunks in there. You could smell the cinnamon, the orange. Ooh, so good. Now to finish it off, we're gonna go ahead and add some more fresh peels in here. Just a few. And that's it. Hot, but good. All of these dishes were so much fun to make, so simple and super easy, simple ingredients, but they go a long way in flavors. And now is the best time for us to try it. Ready, Jay?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Episode 4 will be our pies and dessert.
Yep, can't wait for that. We all love some apple pie and pumpkin and some other things that we have going on, but
We're going to start by making our crust for our pumpkin pie. To this, we're going to add an entire pack of graham crackers. Now that we have our graham crackers in the blender, go ahead and grab our butter and pop this in our microwave, and grab yourself a damp towel or a cover for it. Just cover it so the butter doesn't splash. let's cover our graham cracker and pulse this. But now we're gonna add our butter in. All you need is a 1/4 cup of butter, and we like to put some brown sugar in. Add back your lid and pulse this until everything's combined and mixed together. An alternative method, instead of having a food processor, you could always put it in a plastic bag and use a rolling pin to crush up all your ingredients together.
And that's looking like sand to me. I think we're good, right?
Well, now that we have our crust ready, we're gonna go ahead and turn our oven on at 350 Fahrenheit. And now we could pour all of our crust. You're going to take yourself a glass with a flat bottom and press everything down to try and get an even coat in the bottom. We're going to put our pie crust to the side and grab our mixture. Grab a bowl, a whisk, and we can start cracking. To this, we're gonna add 1 whole can of pumpkin. Two eggs. We're going to use 1/2 teaspoon of pumpkin spice, 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of allspice, and 1/4 teaspoon of clove. We're going to use 1/2 teaspoon of ginger, and we're going to add 3/4 of sugar. Yes. Granulated sugar.
There.
And let's whisk this till it's one smooth paste.
It smells so good.
It does. To add 1 whole can of evaporated milk. And slowly mix this so it doesn't splash back at you.
Some of this would go perfect in some coffee right now.
Now this mixture is supposed to fit a 9-inch pan. So let's go ahead and start pouring.
Nice and easy. Okay, go.
Now we're gonna set our pie mixture on top of a flat pan and pop this in the oven. So we like to put some water in the bottom of our pan.
Should be good.
And we bake for 50 to 55 minutes. Now it's time to make our meringue. This is my special recipe for meringue. To start off this recipe, we're going to need a single vanilla pod, now that I have all my vanilla beans in there, we're going to take our pods and just toss it in. we're gonna need, we need half a cup of sugar, a healthy amount of maple syrup, 2 ounces of water, and then we can put this on our stove until this becomes a golden brown and all the sugar has dissolved. Now let's grab our stand mixer and these 3 egg whites. Let's go ahead and dump those in there. And put it on the highest speed for a minute until all this froths up. Now we can take our vanilla pods out.
Slippery.
Yep, slippery fella.
I can see all the vanilla.
Now we want to turn this back on the high, and slowly drizzle in our sugar mixture here. Our meringue is finished now, and we could start adding it to our pumpkin pie.
A little bit, not too much.
Well, now we're gonna add our store-bought pie crust to our ramekin. Let's place this right in our tray and press all of our sides in. And on our sides, we're going to make a small little design by pressing our knuckle and pinching. Let's poke some holes in our pie crust.
Okay.
And let's add some beans to hold it down. And let's put this in the oven and start on our apples. Now it's time to make our apple pie. Start by peeling all of our apples. All right, all our apples are peeled. Now we could toss this to the side. All right, now grab yourself a knife. And we're gonna start cutting our apple so we're not getting the core. So you're gonna cut it more like in a cube. And you wanna get this almost paper thin. And we continue this process until we have all 4 of our apples cut up. Now that we have all of our apples sliced up into thin pieces, we're gonna add half a cup of granulated sugar and half a cup of brown sugar. One tablespoon of cinnamon.
Because you cannot have apple pie or apples without cinnamon.
1/4 teaspoon of salt. And 2 teaspoons of flour. Next, we're going to add half of a lemon. And now we could go ahead and mix all of our ingredients together. All right, now let's get our apples in our pot to cook them down a bit. This is a step that you could skip entirely and just put it straight into your pie and let it cook in the oven. But we want to get this a little bit toasty. Our apples are almost finished. Once your apple starts to become a little bit more caramelized, you can go ahead and pull this off the heat. Instead of doing a traditional crust on the top of our apple pie, instead we're going to do a crumble on top of our apple pie.
You said that twice.
To start this off, we're going to use 1 whole stick of butter. We use 1 cup of flour, about a cup of flour, some cinnamon, and some brown sugar. We're going to go in with our butter. This is room temperature and slightly melted butter. Let's go ahead and mix this together. For this, we're looking for a clumpy sand texture. Let's grab all of our apples and just dump it right in there. There we are. And spread this out evenly. Now let's grab our crumble and just drizzle it all over the top.
Get all the corners.
You want to just cover this entire thing.
Anything else? Like this is going to be...
It's going to be one flaky pie. One big flaky pie. Now let's put our pie in our tray and straight in the oven. Now it's time for our pecan pie. To begin with our pecan pie, we need pecans. So grab yourself some pecans, toss them on a board. Now once you have enough pecans down, just go ahead and chop them so you're not having to chew on big chunks. Next step is, let's get our bowl and let's slide all of our pecans right into there. To start this off, we're gonna need 1 whole cup of brown sugar. 1. And to that, we're gonna need, now we could add 1 whole cup of corn syrup.
Hold it. That's a job.
of 1/4 cup of butter, a dash of vanilla. But Dad wants some bourbon in his pecan pie, so let's add a dash of that. And let's go ahead and split our eggs. Egg whites in here. Egg yolks in here. Same thing for all 3 eggs. Egg yolk. And our last yolk goes in. And now let's mix all of our ingredients together. Now once everything is mixed together, we could go ahead and pour this in our pastry dough or our pie crust, per se. That looks right. That looks good. Mm-hmm. All right, let's get our pie crust. All right, I'm going to pinch my knuckle around, pinch and squeeze all around our pie dough, pie crust. One last mix and straight into our pie crust.
Center.
Now this goes in the oven at 350 for about 50 minutes. To start off with our caramel, we're going to use 1/2 cup of granulated sugar. And then we're going to let this get to a light brown before we add in our butter. Now that our caramel has been turned to a light brown, we're going to slowly add in our heated heavy cream. Now this is almost finished. We just have to add in our butter now. Take our butter and just add it in. And then the residual heat will cook it down. And now once all your butter is melted, you're going to stir this for another 30 seconds. And then you're going to set this aside.
All right, so just a recap, we have our perfectly roasted turkey. We have 6 side dishes, all the favorites, classic dishes, 3 desserts, which are also classic. All of these were so much fun to make. Ayden and I had so much fun, and from our kitchen to yours, we want to wish you all a happy holiday, happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy and build new memories with your family. From our kitchen to yours. And coming up next, we have a Christmas series that we're kicking off, so be sure to hit the subscribe button and please like the videos. It really helps us a lot. Until next time, take care and enjoy.